Alright guys, I'm going to take a stab at making a YouTube video of my mobile welding trailer setup. I put a quick video up on welding tips and tricks on Facebook, and it had a lot of interest. And I know when I was setting up this trailer, I searched the internet, searched YouTube, and there's really not a lot of say contractor trailers set up that are geared towards welding. So I figured I'd throw this up here and maybe it'll help somebody out. Um, it's a 7 by 14 foot Wells Cargo. It's got two 3,500 pound axles. It's got brakes on both axles. Fold down rear ramp and side entry door. I did put a vent in the roof to help keep from getting so hot. It did have vents in the sides, but you could bake a cake in there during the summertime, so the roof vent really helped out. Plus storing, welding machine that has gasoline and oxygen, acetylene cylinders, inert gas cylinders in there. I just feel better about it with the trailer being cooler. So I'll get out of your way and get behind the camera and kind of walk you through it. We'll start at the back. I know the lighting's not going to be the greatest, but I'm not a professional by any means, and the sun's behind me, so bear with me. So I've got a Miller Trailblazer DC. It's a 300 amp engine drive machine on some running gear that I custom built. Just a word of caution there, the wheels that I have on this thing are supposedly rated for 330 pounds a piece. There's 4 of them. I think the machine weighs about 560, somewhere in there, and it's pretty hard to roll. You can roll it okay on hard surfaces, but it's pretty hard to roll. As far as getting it in and out of the trailer, I couldn't do that by myself. What I do is let me back up and I'll kind of show you what I mean. I raise the ramp up. I've got some jack stands. I'll raise it up level and put it on jack stands. Then I can roll the machine out of the trailer. The exhaust is out of the trailer. It can get some air to cool. So currently looking at better ideas for being able to get the machine in and out of the trailer, but I have enough lead. I really don't need to get it hard very far away from the trailer. So I've got oxygen, acetylene, torch bottles there on the passenger side wall. I've got a full-size argon and a full-size C25 bottle there to run MIG, TIG, and my aluminum gun. I've got about I think 125 feet of stinger lead and ground lead on the machine, plus the whoops, come back here, the adapter pigtail where I can run my 210 MP and my Tomahawk plasma cutter off of there. Got ladder, just a battery powered light there, just some scrap steel in the corner. Next hook in, I've got my air arc torch, cheap air hose, and good 3/8 ID air hose to run the air arc off of. Spare tire for the trailer is tucked in behind there. I've got like a little coat rack here next to my bottles and my toolbox. I just keep my welding jackets and hood, whatever you call it, like a drywall square. It works good for cutting plate, framing square, face shield with dark shield for torch cutting, plasma cutter, my old reliable speed glass there. Got a set of leather overalls there if you get in a bad spot with the arc gouger or whatever. There's a leather coat back there somewhere. So on top, I just got a tool bag. It's got my drill, impact driver, little sawzall, half-inch battery impact in there. Of course, I keep my gloves, a new pair of gloves, old gloves in there. Air arc rods, TIG rod up here. So back here, grinder, porter band. Just a bucket of clamps, wire brushes, a bucket here with the welding rod. This is the box for my spool gun. This is another grinder. That is a jigsaw, that is an impact socket set, and that is a sawzall. So up here on the wall, I've just got, get you up there where you can see, just some grinding wheels, wire wheels, cut wheels, spools of aluminum wire for my spool gun. Over here I got a little fan I can plug in. I've got an outlet here and the power runs to the back. I can plug into my engine drive. This is just manuals and different things for the equipment that I have here on the trailer. Kind of crowded to get around here. It's by no means full. Here I got a easy up pop-up tent in case I have to work outside in the rain or whatever. So here on the bench I got just a, here it is, cheap Harbor Freight 6-inch bench grinder. Use it for sharpening tungsten mainly. And some miscellaneous stuff here on the top shelf. There's a welding blanket, levels, O-ring kits, just different stuff you might need. My cylinder caps are up there, paper towels, duct tape, wire. I've got a bolt bin here, hardware, basically 1/4 by 3/4 all the way up to half 13 by 4-inch, all grade 8 bolts. That's handy to have. Here in the back, underneath my dust buster, are just some of those Harbor Freight cheap hardware kits. There's some self-drilling screws, rivets, electrical connectors, heat shrink, cotter pins, stuff like that. There's a shot of my bolt bin. Then I've got my plasma cutter, Lincoln Tomahawk 375 Air. Works good, works better if you use an external compressor, but I like the portability of having the internal compressor. I don't use it much, but it's handy to have. And then my old Hobart Handler 140, that's the first welder I've ever bought, probably 15 years ago. It's been a good one. It works good. I think it's one of the better homeowner type welders you can buy if you're on a budget and cheap. And then this machine, the 210 MP, I just bought a couple weeks ago. I've used it a little bit, like it so far. I've ran MIG, ran the aluminum spool gun. I did buy the TIG setup for it. It works. The TIG works good. It's scratch start or lift arc only, which I knew that going into it, but it can be a pain, you know, depending on what you're doing. But it's really a MIG machine that can TIG, so I didn't buy it primarily as a TIG machine. So no big deal there. Pretty impressed with the spool gun. It works good. Under there is a toolbox, and it's just got miscellaneous stuff in there. I think there's extra like gas fittings, weld helmet lenses, batteries, different things like that. Then this box right here, I actually wired up the trailer to kind of similar to an RV, so I would have lights in the trailer. I've got 2 LEDs here over my bench that work pretty good, and then I've got 2 LED like work lights on the back. They are wired into the reverse light circuit, so I can see the back of the trailer up at night, and then I have them on a switch so I can turn them on and off to you know, if I'm working back there and need to see what I'm doing. This Ingersoll Rand little dual hot dog compressor, just got it recently. Picked it up used, pretty good deal. It works good. Obviously no problem running the plasma cutter, small air tools. You have to watch. I've got the big K4000 air arc, and you really can't run the air valve on the torch completely wide open. It'll drain the compressor, and it is 100% duty compressor, but it won't keep up with that air arc full bore. So if you only open the valve about halfway, it works good. And my machine's only rated for 3/16 carbon, so it works anyway. I don't need the full bore blast of air. To the toolbox. I'll go through it quick. I'm not going to really detail much. In the top of it, I've got wraparound, Harbor Freight temperature checker thing, tape measure, cheap laser level, wire brushes, safety glasses, pipe welder or pipe fitter handbook, safety glasses, transfer punches, stamps, punches, chisels, junk, Allen wrenches, small hand wrenches. I've got metric tap and die set. That's a set of tap extractors. Let me pan you down a little bit. Alright. Screwdrivers, T-handles. I think I missed a drawer. I did. So that's standard tap and die set. Extractors, drill bits, more extractors. That is all drill bits, countersinks, taps, deburr tools. So this drawer I've got big wrenches, pliers, just all kinds of junk. The toolbox is not big enough to really lay it out like a mechanic's toolbox and put the fancy organizers in. You kind of just have to throw stuff in the drawers. That, and it's in a trailer going down the road, so it bounces everywhere, and it's really, you know, it's definitely not an Instagram toolbox. Here, socket, ratchet, set, hex bits, Torx bits. This drawer is kind of miscellaneous. I've got some electrical tools. I do a fair amount of work on trailers, and that usually involves somebody dragging lights and brackets and stuff off there. So I end up messing with a lot of trailers and things like that, and it's handy to have some wiring stuff in there. So in this drawer is mostly welding stuff. I've got this is all stuff to go in my die grinder, hose repair kit. This is all consumables for the 210 MP and the Tomahawk. It's all my TIG accessories. These are the handler 140 consumables. There's hood batteries in there. There's gas fittings, cutting torch tip cleaners, tip drills, things like that. And I've got my foot pedal for my 210 MP in there. Some Dremel bits. Another flame meter. Whoops. I got you. Bottom drawer. Make sure you can still see. 3/4 socket set. Dead blade, hammers, air chisel, needle scaler, pipe wrench, die grinders, stuff like that. Try and keep the heavy stuff in the bottom. Here on the side, I've just got a magnet tray and a torpedo level. As far as weight, what I have in the trailer, I'll give you a shot out the back here. I think it's probably somewhere around 2,800 pounds of stuff I have in the trailer. So we're below the capacity, and I don't know, with more equipment and stuff, as I get it and put it in here, I'm not sure that I'm going to run out of weight capacity on the trailer, but I think I'll run out of room first, which it's, I mean, there's plenty of room to walk through here, but it doesn't leave much room for carrying materials. But this is a, you know, I've got a truck with an 8-foot bed. I can carry whatever on the truck. Probably build a set of ladder racks for my truck. Either that, or I thought about just building the headboard and making the rear part of the ladder rack removable, because I do pull gooseneck trailers with this truck, and it's it'd be a pain to take a ladder rack on and off. So thinking about that. Oh, I did miss. I've got a hook here on the doors. Got my spool gun, TIG rig, cords for the 210 MP. What else is on there? I think that's about it. There should be a stinger around there for the 210 MP. That's all. That's one thing I want to say about that machine too. Obviously, I got the Trailblazer to run the stick off of, so I'm not relying on this as primarily a stick machine. It runs 70-18 pretty good, 60-11, 60-13. It'll run no problem. It's not a bad machine. It will not run 60-10 though. So if you need to run 60-10, I think it's an inverter thing. I don't think many of the little inverter machines do real well with 60-10, so keep that in mind. If anybody has any suggestions on my setup here, or any comments or whether, just shoot it down below, and I'm open to ideas. Thanks, guys.